out there, listeners of Radio Unfriendly. We are back finally with another episode. We had put this off for far too long. But anyway, so I am one half of your host, Team Steve, and with me again is Cameron. How's it go, Cameron?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
Doing great. So for this episode, we are going to talk about, we're going to talk about my top 10 albums of 2023. Cameron didn't, I don't know. Why did you not participate?
I didn't really listen to any new music in 2023.
I think everything new that you listened to is probably stuff that I showed you.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm a little old and crotchety in my ways of what music I'm listening to.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, so I do this top albums of the year list pretty much every year. Never done a podcast talking about them though, so this will be interesting. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the my top 10 favorite albums of 2023. And let's go ahead and jump right in. So I'm going to play, basically how this process is going to go is I'm going to play one particular song from each album, and then we'll talk about it. Cool. Actually, let me look at the show notes. I think I'm going to play 3 songs, and then we'll pause and then start talking about them. Sound good to you?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. So this first one is from a band based out of Brooklyn called Fat Heaven. It comes from the album Trash Life, and this song is Suburban Nightmare. Here we go.
Pick up the suit from the laundromat, set the alarm before the sun. I'm killing time from behind the desk, counting the seconds till I'm done. I think I'm doing well, but then it ends well. This suburban nightmare makes life a living hell. What's the point of trying hard? I'll never make it in the end. I'll settle down with some finance job. I'll only know my spouse's friends. Years of boring repetition, a lifetime needing a career I found in desperation. Don't think I'm doing well, but they can never tell. This suburban nightmare makes life a living hell. This suburban nightmare makes life a living hell. This suburban driving north on 95. We can grieve it later. Keep the pedal down. We can grieve it later. Keep the pedal down. Keep the pedal down. Is it sunk in yet? When you see it, you can't forget. There's a window, all the concrete's wet. It's kinda looking like the footprint set. We can grieve it later. Keep the pedal down. We can grieve it later. Keep the pedal down. They say you'd make such good parents. It sounds like old-fashioned fun. Fall in love by the iPhone light. One each, a daughter and a son. We lead our lambs to slaughter. It's profit, bootstraps, and guns. Every god needs a sacrifice. Honey, what have we done? What the fuck have we done? Is anyone out there? Is this thing on? The temple is sacked and the healers are gone. You'll turn into a pillar of salt if you dare turn around. Is this thing on? The temple is sacked and the healers are gone. You'll turn into a pillar of salt if you dare turn around. Don't you dare turn around. We can grieve later. Keep the pedal down. We can grieve later. Keep the pedal down. We can grieve later. Keep the pedal down. Keep the pedal down. Keep
that song that you just heard is, let's see, the band was Venomous Concept, and the song is Flowers Bloom from the album The Good Ship Lollipop. Let's jump back to the first one that we played. So that was Suburban Nightmare by Fat Heaven. And as I mentioned, Fat Heaven is a band, they're a trio based out of Brooklyn, New York. And the album was Trash Life. Cameron, what do you think of that one?
I like it. It kind of reminds me of the Misfits a bit. Not vocally, of course, but kind of the way it felt. And it had a few, kind of the oohs and ahs, similar to the Misfits, and just like kind of a nice driving beat. I liked it a lot. It was a good song.
Yeah, good melodic pop punk type stuff. Cool band. So this is as often happens during the year as I'm compiling the list for albums to put on the list eventually. This is at least as far as the top 10 goes, is the first band on the list that I had never heard of previously. So I always get some nice surprises throughout the year. So this was good.
Yeah, I've never heard of them either.
Say that again?
Yeah, I've never heard of them either.
Yeah. So now the second one, which comes in at number 9 of the top 10, comes from Philadelphia-based singer-songwriter Dave House, who previously was in a melodic punk band called The Loved Ones. Pretty good stuff there. So Drive It Like It's Stolen is the album that the song came off of. The song that we played was Pedal Down. But Drive It Like It's Stolen is his 6th solo outing, and his albums generally do show up on my end of year list. I've liked pretty much everything he's put out. Strangely, this one showed up on my end of year list kind of low on the list, because usually they're kind of in the top 5 at least, and this one I guess the stuff that I heard after this, that came out, I just kind of liked them better, I guess. But yeah, what do you think of Dave House? Have you ever heard of him before?
I mean, it follows a common kind of progression with kind of slower songs and this kind of type of music. Really, it actually reminded me not really thematically or sonically even, but there's a song by AFI called Morning Star that kind of follows that same thing, where it's got the slow build up into a heavier part at the end. It's a pretty tried and true method of doing kind of an alternative ballady type song.
Cool.
I like the song. It was good. Had a good it's something that I could probably do work and then have going in the background and not,
for sure,
that I could enjoy and not interfere with my work.
Yeah, for sure. So clocking in at number 8 was the album The Good Ship Lollipop by Venomous Concept. The song we played was Flowers Bloom. So this is an interesting, I had actually never heard of them prior to this year either, which I found kind of odd, because I'm like, why have I not heard of this before? But it's funny. This is a Venomous Concept is a band. For the most part, they are a hardcore punk rock band. But this album is a little more diverse than what you would think of hardcore punk rock bands. But the band was put together in 2003 by members of Brutal Truth and Napalm Death.
Yeah, I was reading about that. It's completely off the wall. Like, really?
Yeah. So this is actually, The Good Ship Lollipop is actually their 5th album. And
oh, wow.
But so the song that we played is actually the most, a friend of mine actually referred to it as the most listenable song on the album, which I don't agree with. It's the most, I guess, melodic song that you'll find on the album. The rest of it kind of follows a little bit closer to the hardcore punk type thing, but there's a lot of really, I mean, there's just a lot of really cool stuff on here. There's, sometimes, like, if you listen to the album, sometimes you might find tunes that are kind of reminiscent of like Poison Idea or Negative Approach. And then other times you get like this like Killing Joke vibe or even like late Ramon.
Okay.
But yeah, really good stuff. So we do have 7 more albums to discuss. But let's take a break from the music briefly. So 2023, has there been anything of interest that has happened in 2023 for you or just in general?
Well, I mean, there's like nothing there's plenty that's happened, right? That, but nothing that is beyond depressing from the major news cycle situation. But for personally, there hasn't really been a whole lot that I've done this year at all, aside from just kind of work and trying to stay sane as a work and home type of person. My days are pretty much the same every day. I would guess the one significant thing that's happened is actually about a piece of software that I've started using for my work, called Descript, and it's like I guess it does podcasting as well, but it was pretty much monumental for me because I have this process at work where if I'm recording like a demo video or something for what I do, and I have to I have to get every single thing I say correctly. If there is an in there, I re-record it and stuff like that. And this is like Descript is like an AI based, which AI is the current skinny jeans buzzword. So it's AI based, and it'll do things like if you're reading and recording your face, videoing your face, you can actually make it, snap your eyes to always be on the camera. So even though you're reading, your eyes are moving from a viewer's perspective, they just see you looking at the camera. And then the other thing that can do, the part that's most monumental to me, impactful to me anyways, is you can have it remove all the like pause words like and things like that automatically with like just a click of a button. So I went from taking 6 hours to make a 30-minute demo to 45 minutes to an hour. So that was a significant thing in my life.
Very nice. Takes out a lot of that editing that you have to do.
Yeah, helps editing a lot
for podcast. Yeah. Oh man. So coming up, we've got 2024 coming up. Hopefully, I'm really hoping that we get a little bit more consistency in this show. I was talking to a friend of mine earlier, and we were talking about this podcast actually, and it had dawned on me, we only have this show only has 6 episodes, and we started the show in April of 2022, so it's been well over a year, and we only have 6 episodes. So I'm hoping we can kind of get some more consistency going on with this. Scheduling has been really the biggest hurdle, so to speak, but we'll try to keep things going. Okay.
Interestingly, I was just kind of going back there to that Venomous Concepts and the Poison Idea, homage to in their name, but I'd also apparently Buzz Osborne was a member at one point of the Melvins, which was very interesting.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they've had various members throughout their
kind of an eclectic bunch there with Napalm Death, Nuclear Assault, and the Melvins all involved. It's pretty interesting.
All right, so this next one is we're going to lay number 7 in the top 10 is the album Only Constant by the band Gel. And the song that I'm going to play is called Attainable. So here we go.
Josie's on a vacation far away. Come around and talk it over. So many things that I wanna say. You know I like my girls a little bit older. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight. I ain't got many friends left to talk to. Nowhere to run when I'm in trouble. You know I'd do anything for you. Stay the night but keep it undercover. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight. Try to stop my headstrong shaking. Something in my mind's not making sense. It's been a while since we're alone, but I can't hide the way I'm feeling. As you're leaving, please would you close the door? And don't forget what I told you. Just 'cause you're right, that don't mean I'm wrong. Another shoulder to cry upon. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna lose your love tonight. I just wanna use your love tonight. I don't wanna use your love tonight. I don't
What if I was wrong? What if I was wrong in believing the bright side never got dull? I realize now the beauty in the emerald pool. The surface calm and still, like a perfect home. But every house has cracks to fill. Familiar waters rushing in. Indifference swept me under. Does it carry me, or do I let my feet sink firm into the sand? When will I learn this comfort is not mine to deify? Cauterize and tie, pour cement inside concrete as my blood. Sewn feet to the carpet, I stand and watch my dead. Walked for days and left nothing, and felt nothing. To be stone, to be clear, to be nowhere near. To be stone, to be clear, to finally disappear. What if I don't know if I smile with no regrets? When I came to water and swim around in it, wrap my head on something, suffer change. Maybe it's supposed to be this way.
Finished that batch up with Transparency by Initiate, and that comes from their Cerebral Circus. But before we get into talking about that, let's jump to the top of the pack. And that first song I played was Attainable by Gel. Gel is a hardcore punk entry on my top 10 list. They are from New Jersey, and this song came from the album Only Constant, which is their first full-length album. Now, it's considered a full-length album. However, the album itself clocks in at only 17 minutes long. So, yeah, it's a lot of fast-tempo stuff and a lot of straightforward, simple energy, but really just a really good album to listen to. What are your thoughts on Gel?
Yeah, it's good. I don't normally go for a lot of kind of the screamier stuff, but I mean this was pretty good. If I am gonna listen to some screamier music, I do prefer it to be a female singer than a male. I do like that. Aside from one, odd 3-minute song, the majority of their songs are a minute and a half or under, which is great. So yeah, I liked it. It was good. It was good. Had a good beat.
Yeah, definitely. After that was clocking in at number 6 on the top 10 list was the band Melon Ball, who is a skate punk band from Nuremberg, Germany. And the song that we played comes from their debut full-length album, Breathe. And musically, it was a pretty strong debut. The song that we played is actually a cover of an old 80s song by the band The Outfield called Your Love. And there are actually a lot of other good songs on this album. But I really enjoy that particular, so that's why I played that one.
Yeah, a skate punk band out of Germany is not something you see every day. But yeah, definitely love their choice of cover song. I like The Outfield. I remember as a kid listening to them and really enjoying that album. That first one, I think Play Deep is what it was called. Keeping to the baseball theme there. But yeah, I really like that. I really like that song. I like covers of 80 music. And there's a Masked Intruder actually does a cover of that as well. I'm not sure if it's on any albums, but you can Google it or search on YouTube and find them doing it live. It's really good. It's more where this one kind of was like lower and then sped up, and the Masked Intruder version, as you'd expect, is just a consistent.
I'm actually trying to find. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Masked Intruder. I've actually seen them several times live. But yeah, so far I'm not finding an album that one came on, but I definitely need to hear that. That's fun stuff.
Yeah, there's live videos of it out there.
Yeah. I like when punk bands play 80s music.
Yeah. There's quite a few songs I'd like to see kind of a more modern punk band do covers of. Not necessarily like the Descendants doing the cover of it, but just kind of more modern music doing covers of it. So I liked that last one so much. It's really good.
Yeah. What other 80s songs would you like to see a punk band do?
So I can think of a couple. I think so that Forever Young, the Alphaville song, I think would be really good as a punk cover. As well as and I want to say I think somebody actually did a cover of it, but I Melt With You, which I can't think of who does that right now. But the song I Melt With You, and then maybe If You Leave by OMD would be good as well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that I've heard a couple of the songs I'm thinking of. I'm pretty sure that punk bands have covered them, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head. But the first one I'm thinking of is Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. And then maybe like Tainted Love by Soft Cell.
Sure.
Another really good cover of an 80s song is remember the song Just Like Heaven by The Cure?
Oh yeah, I love The Cure.
Yeah, Dinosaur Jr. did a cover of it.
Yeah,
and it was
great.
Really good.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and another not necessarily an 80s song, but a 70s song. So the band High Standard, which is like the Japanese punk band back from the 90s. I think they're doing some reunion stuff now, but they do a cover of California Dreamin', which is amazing. It's so good. And there's some great live videos of that on YouTube as well.
I'm trying to think of other 80s songs that would be
I mean there's like the Take On Me, Aha, that'd be good. I think I want to say someone already did it, but a cover of Pretty in Pink would be good. Where maybe Goldfinger did a cover of them or that song.
Yeah, I seem to remember somebody doing a cover of that. Well, yeah, if you're out there listening to this and let us know what 80s covers you'd like to see a punk band play. That'd be fun to see what others are thinking. Like we're on social media. If you go to whatever the hell it's called now, I call it Twix. It's what used to be Twitter. We're on there under Punk Rock Podcast, and we are also on Instagram. But just come find us and let us know what 80s songs you'd like to hear punk bands cover. I'd like to get your feedback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did play another song. Number 5 on the list is from actually another hardcore punk rock band. These guys, Initiate, are from, I'm not sure where exactly, somewhere in Southern California. And the album Cerebral Circus was released in April. And that is the album that the song that we played comes from, obviously. And I really, like, you don't get the whole, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't get like the whole, like just playing one song, you don't get like the whole effect of the band, but the vocalist I think is really good.
Yeah, I
Her
agree.
name is Crystal Oak, and when I wrote out this list, I wrote that she could be one of the best vocalists of the genre.
No, yeah.
But based on what we played, what did you think of them?
I liked it. I liked kind of especially the kind of spoken thing at the first part. Was good. Kind of reminds me of our rendition of Elvis Lives in My Pants, with the spoken word. And yeah, I liked that. I liked the song. And I did like her voice for sure. And it's interesting too on the getting the whole view of a band based on one song. It's weird that sometimes that one song that you do hear is like the one, and it's completely different than the rest of the album, but it becomes like the big hit that makes them, more mainstream. Like thinking of like Goo Goo Dolls with Name, that was the only song remotely like that on an entire album. And then that song took off, and then the rest of their music was pretty much a derivative of that song, right? It's interesting how just one song can change the trajectory for a band.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I mean, there's a lot of times where there's like a band that people will recommend to me, or I'll read about, and they're just like, yeah, I'm just not into them. I can't get into that, and it takes forever. And then finally it's like there's a one song that you hear and you're like, the song is amazing, and then it just kind of blows up and gets you more into their material.
Yeah, a good example of that for me would be they're so bad at I can't even find the song bands. Joyce Manor, Constant Headache. Like I couldn't get into the whole rest of that album at all, except for Constant Headache's a great song, and it kind of made me reevaluate my opinion of all the other songs on that album.
Yeah, a really good example of that for me, interestingly enough, is I'm sure you've heard of this band, Dropkick Murphys.
Oh yeah.
Like for the longest time, I was like, yeah, it's fine. I'm just not into it. And I had a friend that was like, at the time, he was like really into them, and I'm just like, yeah, they're fine, they're okay, nothing special. And then there was one song that I heard. And I don't even remember where I heard it, because at the time it wasn't like Spotify wasn't really a big thing, and I mean digital music in general wasn't really a big thing. So I'd heard it somewhere, and it was a song off the album. Find their discography. It was off of the album Blackout from 2003. And the song was Walk Away.
Okay.
And so I heard that, and I'm like, this song's freaking amazing. And I ended up, getting more into them. Interesting epilogue to that story is I'm not nearly as into them as they had an album that came out. Oh gosh, I want to say what they put out an album in 2011 called Going Out in Style. Actually, no, not that one. It was the one before it. It was The Meanest of Times, came out in 2007. And like for me, that was really the last good album that they did. Like the stuff they put out after that is fine. Did not get into it. I'm not really as big a Dropkick Murphys fan as I used to be.
Usually the song that gets people into that, I would say, is probably Shipping Off to Boston. That's the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I got into him before that song came out. I do like that song. But The Meanest of Time is a really good album. But yeah, going back to the subject, it's just crazy how you could like just dislike a band or just not be interested, and then there's that one song that brings you into the fold, so to speak. But yeah, this is the song Transparency is a good track from Cerebral Circus, but by no means the only good song on the album. If we're being real here, if there was only one good song on the album, chances are your album's not going to show up on my end of year list.
Top 10 albums, not top 10 songs.
What's that?
It says top 10 albums, not top 10 songs.
Right. All right. So we got some more stuff to play. We've got 4 more. Wait a minute. Is that right? Is that 4 more? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So we got 4 more songs to play. This next one, we're going to have fun talking about this when we get to it. But this comes from a band called Bloodstar. The album was First Sighting. So First Sighting is number 4 on my list. And the song we're going to play is Cold Moon. So here's another batch of songs.
wish it could be different, but it's always been the same. I wish my name was Jonathan. Never underestimated, never overrated. Just a man named Jonathan. Living up to a lifetime of lowered expectations. I bet on cheaters. Every fucking time. The only way to beat 'em is for me to fall in line. I'd rather be a winner than a fool who loves to die. I wish my name was Jonathan. Never underestimated, never overrated. Just a man named Jonathan. Living up to a lifetime of lowered expectations. I wish my name was Jonathan. Never underestimated, never overrated. Just a man named Jonathan. Living up to a lifetime of lowered expectations.
I'm afraid I love someone who's in love with someone else. For years I've kept it to myself, pretending we are picture perfect. But I barely got my shit together, cracking under little pressure. I'm afraid I'm not the one you want is someone else. They say hope is a dangerous, dangerous little thing to keep finding out the hard way what tomorrow never brings. They say hope is a dangerous, dangerous little thing to keep finding out the hard way what tomorrow never brings. Never brings. I passed a restaurant burned to the ground and a dollar store with a burned out egg. Life thinking that I'd relate. I'm the junk you buy and you throw away. I had the bloodshot, close my eyes so the cover won't be compromised. I'm afraid I'm not the one you wanted, someone else. They say hope is a dangerous, dangerous little thing to keep finding out the hard way what tomorrow never brings. They say hope is a dangerous, dangerous little thing to keep finding out the hard way what tomorrow never brings. Never brings. Sometimes I wanna blow up my life and become someone else. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I wanna blow up my life and become someone else. Yeah, yeah. Sometimes I wanna blow up my life and become someone else. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sometimes I wanna blow up my life dangerous, dangerous little thing to keep finding out the hard way what tomorrow never brings.
All right, that was Hope is a Dangerous Thing by the Menzingers, and that one comes off of their 2023 album, Some of It Was True. Okay, let's jump to the top of this pack. And that first song we played was, let's see, which one did I play? Cold Moon by Bloodstar. Bloodstar is a band based out of Salt Lake City. And it's kind of a side project for another power metal band based out of Salt Lake City called Visigoth. But yeah, this is not the type of music that generally pops up on my end of year list. But you know, growing up, I didn't just listen to punk music. I actually listened to a bit of butt rock too, and this kind of just hit me in the nostalgia. You kind of had that like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Dio kind of vibe, and yeah, it really. You were mentioning earlier that it kind of reminded you of something that our friend Dave from Eielson would have liked, and I can totally see it. I can totally see him digging on this. But yeah, so you got this like basically just heavy metal band that feels like they just stepped out of the 80s and they did this album. And yeah.
I remember we'd be in my basement there at Eielson playing, and Dave would go into singing that Grim Reaper song, I'll see you in hell, my friend. That was as soon as I heard her singing, I was like, Dave popped in my mind. That was great.
Yeah. I remember we'd be goofing around in your basement and he'd start playing some Grim Reaper. That was fun times. Great. It was great. So yeah, that album came out I want to say April. April. And the album is called First Sighting. And yeah, if you are at all any kind of fan of the 80s metal type kick, you will definitely enjoy this album.
Oh, is the album that way as well? Is it pretty much?
Yeah, the whole album is like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought maybe that was like a meme song.
Yeah, it's all just like straight out of like I was saying, Judas Priest or Iron Maiden. Just yeah.
Interestingly, the chord progression at the very beginning was like straight out of the chord progression for Danzig, Mother.
Oh yeah.
Funny. And then changes obviously, but
yeah, for sure.
Initial that Danzig sound and then going right into the butt rock was great.
Full on, yeah, butt rock. All right. So number 3 on my top 10 list was the album. I don't speak French, so I'm going to butcher this. But it's Armor La Harmonie. Hell if I know. But it's by the Chicago-based band Airstream Futures, who they are no stranger to my end of year list. 2017, they were at number 6 with the album Spirali Infer. See, they do these album titles that nobody can pronounce. Spirali Infernali. So yeah, 2017 they were at number 6, and then in 2020 they were at number 7 with Le Feu et Les Sables. I kind of feel in that they're really into the French. But yeah, I really dig this band. This one was released in February. It's the third full length, and really enjoy this band. The vocalist is Devin Carson. One of the band members, and now that I need to say it, I'm totally spaced of it. One of the band members used to be in the band The Methadone. And I can't freaking remember which one it is. Give me a second. Let me pull this up, see if I can find one it is. I wonder, maybe he's not in the band anymore. Nope. Here we go. Oh no, I found it. It was the drummer from the Methadones. Mike Seltzy is the drummer for this band. But yeah, the music, I just something about it I really dig on. What do you think of it?
I liked it. Which, I mean, that's kind of a theme with this list. I like a lot of stuff on it. I like that a lot of the bands that, you know, I've been discounting kind of new music for a long time. Unfortunately, to my detriment, obviously. And I like that a lot of these bands sometimes have, you know, members of bands that I've liked before in the past, and I like how this is all kind of showing me that new music isn't necessarily terrible in my brain as I think it is. I really like it.
Yeah, I mean, when I first heard about the band, like back years ago, I saw that they had a member from the Methadones. That's kind of what perked me up, because I'm a huge fan of the Methadones.
Yeah.
I mean, this band sounds nothing like the Methadones, but
right.
But I'm glad that you know, it kind of pushed me that way, because they're just an amazing band. You're like, everything they put out is amazing. It's just great. And I mean, on top of that, the people in the band are really great people. Like I talk to Devin pretty frequently. I was talking to her earlier this year about the new album, because telling her I was really looking forward to it coming out, and she wound up sending me vinyl copies of their first two albums. I was like, pretty cool. But she's really cool, great lady. And I did an interview with their bass player. God, when was that? I did it for the Bad Copy, or for Bad Copy. It's not the Bad Copy. It's, oh man, when did I do that? It was February. Yeah, I did an interview with her in February for Bad Copy. And, but yeah, good bunch of people. And then number 2. Oh, by the way, the song that we just played off of our, I'm not going to try it again. The song that we played is called A Man Named Jonathan. And then the next song on the list comes from the number 2 album on my list. The song we played was Hope is a Dangerous Little Thing. And that comes from Some of It Was True by the Menzingers. Have you ever heard of the Menzingers?
Yeah.
Okay. It's amazing how many people have never heard of them. But yeah, they're like one of my favorite current bands. They're from Scranton, Pennsylvania. They've had albums on my list before. I think the last time they showed up on one of my end of year list was the After the Party LP back in 2017. But yeah, Some of It Was True is their 7th studio album, and it was released in October via Epitaph Records. But yeah, what did you think of this song by the Menzingers?
I like it. They're consistently, they put out good music really consistently. I'm pretty sure that you are the one that first suggested I listen to them. I hadn't heard any of their newer stuff. I have like this, it seems like, even though it was only a couple of years ago, like the whole like pandemic COVID thing seems like just decades ago. And everything before that seems like an entirely different decade in my brain, which, well, I guess technically 2017 is, but it just seems so long ago. I really like their music. I like the song. Definitely have to check out the rest of the album.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. They are like, they consistently put out good music. Like, they're really good songwriters. They're just really good at writing quality songs. There's like really, Some of It Was True is obviously a really good album. Showed up number 2. But I went and saw them, I want to say it was like just after Thanksgiving. I went down, I actually took a train to Dallas because I didn't feel like driving I mean, it's really not that. It's not that far a drive. It's only like a 3-hour drive. I just didn't feel like driving down there by myself. So I actually took a train, like an Amtrak, down to Dallas and went and saw them. It was on the 28th. Now I remember, it was Tuesday the 28th is when I went and saw them. That was a great show. It was really good. I've seen them now 3 times. I saw them open up for Frank Turner, and I don't remember what year that was. But strangely enough, saw them. They opened up for Frank Turner in Dallas. So yeah, this was the second time I've seen them in Dallas. But the second time I saw them was when I went to Riot Fest Chicago last year, 2022. So yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see them again. So like,
Okay.
you were saying something earlier about getting into a rut with music?
Yeah. It seems easy to completely, discount modern music as bad when you haven't even listened to it. Like I was probably up until listening to this list that you put together, I pretty much set in the ways of my playlist is consistently Descendants, Misfits, maybe the newest thing on there would probably be maybe like Alkaline Trio or Authority Zero. Nothing really much newer than that, other than some stuff that you had played in a previous episode of Radio Unfriendly. That was that was it. And I really wasn't listening to any new music at all. I was just kind of set in this, I was the crotchety old man sitting on his front porch telling, you kids, your music's terrible. And clearly I'm wrong.
Get off my lawn!
Yeah. So it's good to, you can get in that rut with music and that kind of you only want to listen to the older stuff that you've been listening to for years, and you completely tune out what's going on in the rest of the world musically, which is really, as a a wannabe musician myself, it's a terrible thing to have happen to you, really. But I'm glad that this list has kind of opened my mind up to checking out new music again. It's not all what's on the radio.
Definitely.
Which is kind of the point of this podcast anyways, right? So
what's that now?
And that's kind of the point of the whole podcast anyways, is that things that aren't necessarily on the radio that are really good.
Right. Yeah. This whole thing was put together because we wanted to play music that most people just generally would not be aware of.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my train of thought. But yeah, I can see getting into that rut. I personally, for lack of a better way to put it, I kind of force myself to listen to new music. Like, I write for Bad Copy, so I try to promote music that most people don't know anything about. And then, putting together music for this show, and then for my other podcast, I play music on that one as well. And then I've made it a habit to just listen to new music. Like, stuff gets recommended to me, stuff gets emailed to me, and I just come across stuff. And yeah, so if you out there listening are in the same boat where you kind of get into a rut, really just the best advice I could give you is just force yourself to listen to music. Go to probably the best place I can lead you toward is Bandcamp. You go to Bandcamp and there's always just get a listener account on Bandcamp. And there's always stuff that pops up. You've got specific genres that you can they've got a discover section where you can discover new stuff from whatever genre it is you're looking for. And if you've got Apple Music or Spotify, there's ways to listen to new music that way as well. Specifically with Spotify, there's a thing that for most of the year, I make sure that every Friday I hit up the release radar. which is a playlist it puts together for you of stuff that's new. And Apple Music also has something like that as well. I will say, and so I prefer Apple Music, but what were you saying?
I said that's what I started doing. So I use Apple Music pretty extensively. Just because it's the ecosystem I'm in. But I listen to that. Yeah, I listen to that as much as I can. But the only difference being that finding new stuff, if you're just now getting into Apple Music, could be hard for you because it curates based off of your likes and what you generally listen to. So if you're just now getting on Apple Music and started listening to stuff, finding new music that suits your taste is not going to be so easy. But yeah, I've been listening to iTunes probably since the early 2000s. So it's got a pretty good idea of what I want to listen to. I would say that probably. So I've been to start listening to new music now. They curate that list for you based on what you've been listening to and what you like. So I've been listening to that now. But they also have it's called like Alt Control, which is like a playlist. I think they do it every year, where it's kind of alternative, quote unquote, type music that's come out during the year. So it kind of has, it's like the latest one out is Alt Control 2023, and it's got kind of all that kind of genre of music that's come out. So that might be a good place to start listening. I'm not sure how much, I'm not sure how many, bands that you'd be seeing out on Bandcamp that are putting out their own music in that list. I'm not sure of, because it's got things like Green Day and Blink-182. Anybody that's, pop punk that's really music in 2023, but
like either one of those three platforms is a good start. I mean, it'll get you in the right direction. Or you can just keep listening to Radio Unfriendly. We'll have new stuff out for you. Because generally the stuff that we play on here is somewhat new. At least, I try to keep it within the year or two, just depending on what our mood is, really. So it's usually fairly new. But on that note, we've got one more song to play. I'm going to play it, and then we will jump back and talk about it. So this is the song Voice in Your... wait a minute. Do I have the song wrong? Voice in Your Head. I was right. Voice in Your Head by the band Shit Present.
I wanna be sane, but I wanna let go. Is it a matter of time before the next episode? Best night of your life and wishing it would all end. Can't be good to yourself, let alone good to your friends. Taking your time and looking after your health. All the unturned pages of the books on the shelf. It's all too familiar, that where do I go? Trust of all the people I know. I can tell you I'm right here for you. I can tell you how much I adore you. When you make a mistake, I can say it's okay.
All right, that was the song "Voice in Your Head" by Shit Present. The album, which is the number one album on my favorite albums of the year, is What Still Gets Me. So Shit Present is a band out of Exeter, United Kingdom. Hopefully I pronounced that right.
Yeah.
So before 2023, I pretty much knew who they were, but nothing about them really stood out to me. I was just like, yeah, they're good. It's all right. So this album came out in May, and it basically made it very difficult to not pay attention. This album is just freaking amazing. What do you think of it?
The song's really good. It kind of reminds me of it's got almost like an anthem-y kind of tone to it. It reminds me of like Where Eagles Dare by the Misfits and the whole, I ain't no goddamn son of a bitch, and then or Pennywise with Fuck Authority. So that line in there, I can fucking destroy you or be your best friend, kind of, it's like something that you can like sing to if you're at a show or and kind of get into. I really like the lyrics and the premise of the song. I think are really good, and in general, and I like that as she's singing slowly, it's very prominent that she's English, and then kind of goes into the chorus. You can't really pick that out anymore, but I like it when someone sings and you can tell their accent in it. I think it gives it a unique quality, makes it not so bland, something that we hear every day. I like that.
Yeah, really good. Like I agree. I really love the lyrics to the song. Yeah, their stuff is catchy as all hell. But yeah, the album in general touches a lot on like struggling with sanity and just mental health in general. So this is kind of the tip of the iceberg for this album.
And that's kind of the whole idea of the things that you say to yourself, and you might even you just imagine you're going to go do something and you're worried about whether you'll be good or bad at it. And you've got that kind of nag in the back of your head that's telling you're going to be terrible at it. So that's the destroy you part, or the other part of it is giving yourself encouragement, or be your best friend. So it's definitely a kind of a brainy song. It's great.
Yeah, the lyrics are just like that. I could tell you I'm right here for you. I could tell you how much I adore you. When you make a mistake, I can say it's okay. But then, I'm here. You better learn to control me. I'm the voice in your head. I'm here till you're dead. So, it's very interesting. And it's like I said, the whole album is full of engaging stuff like that. Like this, there's not a bad song on this album. So freaking amazing. If you're out there and you've never heard Shit Present, I cannot recommend this album enough. You got to go out there and listen to this, and then go back and listen to the rest of their discography. This is a trio, and the singer's name off the top of my head, that was her name, Iona Karn. But yeah, they're just amazing. They're great.
Yeah, it's got a good number of songs on it too, 13. So
compared
to some of the other albums with the shorter set list, but this is really good.
Yeah,
I'll have to definitely listen to the rest of it.
All right. Well, so that is another episode of Radio Unfriendly. Hope you enjoyed it. You can find us at all the audio platforms and all our social links. Just go to radiounfriendly.com. That link will also be in the show notes. And then if you're listening on either whatever platform, audio platform you're listening to it on, if you're able, please leave a review and a rating for us. And we will be back hopefully soon with another episode of Radio Unfriendly. But for now, we are out. Have a good 2023 and Happy New Year, all that good stuff.
Yeah, see you in 2024.
Yep.